Introduction. I am a mother of 3 wonderful boys. 2 decades ago, when I first embarked on my parenting journey, I was just like most first-time mothers. I was half clueless, but 100% excited. Along the way, from first son to second son to third son, I encountered some "whoops, wrong move," and "yes, I'm getting very good at this." Raising my boys with the help of my husband has been the most enjoyable, challenging, and profound experience for me. I have put my 100% effort and passion in it. I've also come to realize that raising our children well is the greatest contribution we parents can make to society. And raising our sons, our Pinoy boys well, is indeed very important because they are the future heads of Pinoy families. I like sharing some of my thoughts and stories about raising my boys. I do this with my friends and even new acquaintances. You know how it is with mothers. Put them together in a room and they will always talk about their children. They usually start with, "How old are your children? Where do they study?" Before you know it, they're swapping stories about their labor and end up sharing tips on how to raise their children. I usually find myself in this situation. It is always a delight when a parent tells me, "Wow, I learned something from you. Let me try that with my son." Over the years, I wrote about my parenting experiences in my notebook and later on my laptop. It was my way of expressing and savoring the joys and processing the frustrations I encountered. I also attended a lot of seminars and workshops and read a lot of books on parenting. Most of all, I learned a lot from the parenting experiences shared by my family and friends. Then I realized that I had with me a wealth of materials worth sharing with other parents. I thought of compiling all these into a book about raising Filipino boys. I have in my library a few books about parenting boys, but they were written by foreign authors, about raising boys in their country, mostly the United States. This book project lingered with me for quite some time because of some hesitations. Foremost was my concern of putting undue pressure on my sons, as I will be sharing a lot of their stories. So, should I wait for all of them to become respectable adults? What if I won't be around anymore? Besides, what time frame do I give myself before I can say, "Yes, I have raised my boys well"? When they have all reached adulthood, have become good fathers themselves, have become good grandfathers? So, what the heck, a favorite expression of my youngest son these days. I will just do it. Not later, but now, while I'm still in the heat of it. If I wait too long, I might be too old to remember, or I might be talking a language different from the language of the parents reading the book. I believe that there is no one single formula in raising our children. I always say, to each his own, different strokes for different folks. But when we share experiences with others, we definitely enrich each other's parenting. I was very fortunate to have been granted interviews with parents of successful Pinoy men and boys. I'm also sharing their parenting stories with you in this book. This book is also accompanied by an interactive website. After each chapter, I invite you to log on to www.raisingpinoyboys.com and share with me and the other readers your insights and experiences about the topic. I look forward to hearing and learning from you too. We all wish that one day our country will finally become a great nation with talented, honest citizens all working for the common good. We also lament how hard it is to be honest when we deal with bureaucracy. When we try to pay the right taxes, Some tax collectors even see to it that we don't, so they can pocket the rest. We sometimes end up in a vicious situation of, if you can't beat them, join them. Allow me to share with you my lofty dream, which is the main reason why I wrote this book. I dream that all Filipino parents will raise their children so well that in the future we will have an abundance of talented, honest, and competent Filipino children who will grow up to be talented, honest, and competent Filipino adults who will always do the right thing, whether someone is looking or not. Their number will reach a critical mass, that they will be the norm and not the exception. This will be the time when, if you can't beat them, join them, will be applied on the dishonest and incompetent citizens, so that they too will acquire the honesty and competence of the majority. Wow! This will be our tipping point to finally become the great nation we are destined to be. I hope that this book will be my humble contribution to this dream. Of all the seminars I attended and books I read on parenting, or any subject for that matter, the lessons were always delivered best when told in a story. So, let me tell you my story.